Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. We'll start tonight with item D, the State of the City Address by Mayor Mahmood.
Thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. First off, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to those who have supported me in my first year as being mayor of the city of Napoleon. Thank you to council members, Ross, Brittany, Ken, Dr. Dave, Bob, Jordan, and Tom for all your dedication and collaboration. Michaela, our clerk of council, and former clerk Marissa, thank you both for your unwavering support and hard work. Special shout out to Andy, Billy, and Kevin, our appointed authorities, who keep this thing running smoothly for us. To all the department heads and their staff, thank you to each and every one of you for your tireless efforts that ensures that the city thrives. And of course, I can't forget to talk about my family this year. So my amazing wife Heidi, my son Connor, and my daughter Callie. Their support has meant everything to me. Reflecting on my 10 years of service to the city, starting at the Parks and Rec board and then on city council, I've had the privilege to meet many mayors and council members from other cities in the state of Ohio. While some are frequently overwhelmed by the challenges in their roles, especially in complex dynamics with other elected officials and their staff, I can honestly say that I am incredibly blessed to work with all of you who make my job easy, and for that, I am truly grateful. Now let's take a look at some of the amazing accomplishments and goals from our departments, which ones that they've achieved in 2024, and we'll have a look into 2025. From the desk of our city manager, Andy Small, in July 2024, we entered into an agreement to provide water to the village of Holgate. We continue to collaborate with Holgate officials and their engineering firm to determine the most efficient and cost-effective way to build a water line between our communities. I'm truly grateful that the city of Napoleon has the resources to provide water and support to one of our neighboring communities. It's a great feeling to be able to lend a helping hand and strengthen the connections between our communities. In August, we reached an agreement with Campbell Soup Company to accept and process their domestic wastewater. Engineering is currently underway for a pump station on their property, along with necessary infrastructure to connect to our sanitary system on East Maumee Avenue. Again, I am truly grateful that the city of Napoleon has the capacity to support the businesses in our community. As we all know, housing is a challenge for many communities throughout the country, and ours is no different. Therefore, we remain engaged with the developer of a planned 216-unit apartment complex at the end of Trail Drive. The Planning Commission approved the project last January, and we anticipate visible progress on the site in the coming months. We look forward to these developments and the benefits that they'll bring to our community. Moving on to different departments here, we'll start with Parks and Rec Board, just because Tony's here, so I wanted to start with you, Tony. So our Parks and Rec department had an exciting year. We partnered with the Wildcat Youth 32 Athletics Organization to complete and renovate Glenwood Park, the youth baseball field. Through the extensive fundraising and in-kind donations, we created a state-of-the-art baseball and softball complex that features field turf, LED lighting, stadium seating, new fencing, and a restroom/concession stand building. We celebrated the grand opening and ribbon cutting event in May. And the facility hosted countless youth games throughout the 2024 season. In 2025, we'll be completing the restrooms and the press box, and we're excited to introduce a batting cage area. This means the games can now be played from early spring till mid-fall. Speaking of recreation, the Napoleon Golf Course finished the season with a record-breaking revenue again. That's an increase, thanks to increase in corporate memberships, greens fees, and concession sales. A new online tee time system and dedicated golf course website, they were launched and making it easier for players to access and enjoy the course. We're also looking forward to the construction of pickleball courts in 2025 at Swearingen Park, with the plans for completion early this summer. One of our favorite departments is wastewater. I know we all like to talk about that, so hit that one second. With Jeremy Oakley and his team, they had a productive 2024, including completing the renovation of the treatment plant. Also made other major accomplishments like completing the rehabilitation of the Palmer Ditch lift station and acquiring new vehicles and safety equipment. For 2025, Jeremy and his team will be focused on restarting the biosolids land application program, optimizing our process controls, and making upgrades to the Henry County Hospital lift station. The work being done in this department keeps our city's water and wastewater systems running smoothly, an essential service we all rely on. Moving on to our finance department, Kevin Geringer. In 2024, our finance department received the prestigious Auditor of State Award with distinction. And that's not new for our department. I believe we've received that multiple times. This award reflects our city's commitment to transparency and fiscal responsibility. They began the tedious process of the installation and use of the new AMI tantalus meter reading system. They also prepared the annual CAFR and numerous other tasks that the rest of us would not find very exciting as they do. In 2025, the Finance Department will continue expanding the use of our AMI system, also complete the annual CAFR, and ensure continued quality customer service and financial integrity. Moving on to our IT department. So that's led by Dustin. And Dustin and his IT team, consisting of Justin, completed major upgrades in 2024, including the construction of new office space and the upgrade of our network and firewall systems. Looking ahead, they'll focus on replacing older city computers, upgrading our police department's connections to county software, and streamlining system updates. The digital backbone is critical in keeping everything running efficiently, from utilities to public safety. Our engineering department, led by Chad Luffs, who cannot be here today because he is on another mission trip, which is awesome. It's many years, ever since I've been here. I believe it goes every year. The engineering department had a very productive 2024. They paved 28 streets totaling 56 blocks. In addition to that, the Oakwood Avenue improvements completed the largest project in the city at $4.1 million with 2.737 in grant funding. They replaced nearly 1,000 feet of sanitary sewer, 5,000 feet of water line, and paved 1.5 miles of the street. I know we were all inconvenienced by that, but I think I speak for everyone and said when we drive down that street now, it's a joy to be able to be in a nice smooth street with curbing, and it looks nice for people coming in and out of our community. They also tackled the 3rd Street sanitary sewer improvements. They replaced nearly 2,000 feet of failing sanitary sewer and paved 5 blocks of 3rd Street. In 2025, the engineering department will focus on the following projects: reconstruction of the Newward Lane and Becca Lane. They'll be replacing the deteriorated concrete pavement and replacing that with asphalt. East Washington sanitary sewer improvements will take place in 2025. The replacement of the oldest remaining brick sanitary sewer in the city of Napoleon and reconstructing East Washington Street. We'll also do 5th Street water line improvement project, replacing of the failing water line on 5th Street from Nickerson to Brownell Avenue, utilizing city personnel on that job. They'll also work on the water line river crossing. They'll begin design of replacing the water line crossing to the southwest side of the city. Okay, moving on to the fire department, Chief Bowen. Can't help but mention the awesome breakfast yesterday. Thank you and your team for doing that. It seemed like it was very successful. When I was there and then drove by a couple times, looks like you had quite a few people. The fire department responded to 1,709 calls for service in 2024. That's an average of about 5 calls per day, showing a significant increase in emergency calls. They also made critical upgrades to equipment, such as acquiring battery-powered extrication tools and beginning a replacement plan for firefighter gear. Looking ahead, the fire department is focused on replacing aging vehicles, upgrading technology, and ensuring the department is fully prepared for digital alerting in our near future. In 2024, I'll just mention a couple things that Chief Bowen shared with me. There's quite a bit here. I'll just pick a couple of them here. They began the replacement of structural firefighter turnout gear. And I guess if you're not in the firefighter field, you may think, why can't you use the same gear over and over? Chief Bowen's explained to me in the past how important that is, that we keep up on that for the safety of all of our firefighters there. All current members are in the NFPA compliant turnout gear, and all full-time members have a second set of NFPA compliance gear. We've completed the spec process for a new fire engine, completed a CAD switchover, and completed Mark switchover. Some of the goals that Chief has for 2025, be ordering a new fire engine, replacing engine 805, which is 1996 model. Also complete vehicle computer upgrades, replace the Lucas CPR devices, which are at the end of their life expectancy, and hire part-time admin assistant, complete ISO rating audit, and continue replacement plan for turnout gear, fire hoses, and equipment. Moving on to the water department. Water department's led by Jeff Weiss. He had a full year of important improvements, including replacing equipment at the water plant and maintaining compliance with EPA standards. And Jeff sent me a very, very long list of things that they accomplished. I don't think I'm going to go through all of those, but one of the things that sticks out to me is the the membranes that we have at the water treatment plant. The life expectancy of those have been exceeded to save us money, and that's 100% due to Jeff and his team with the maintenance that they do on them, which is saving the city hundreds of thousands of dollars. So hats off to Jeff and his team for doing that. Some of the other smaller projects that they worked on was updating the EPA contingency plan, and service and maintenance, HVAC and air compressor systems throughout the plant. They cleaned and inspected settling basins in the spring and the fall. Some of their goals for 2025 for the water treatment plant are pull and rebuild the Wasion raw water pump number 3, troubleshoot and repair high service pump number 3, install new spring check valve on high service pump number 3, updating the SCADA PLC in North Water Tower, and assist in discussions for future Wasion Reservoir supply contracts. Moving on to zoning administration and code enforcement, Kevin Schultes. Our zoning and code enforcement team handled 221 cases in 2024, addressing issues from grass complaints to zoning violations. They've worked hard to ensure that our city remains clean, safe, and well regulated. We've also seen a growth in residential and commercial development, with an increase in the total amount of spent on construction projects, demonstrating the health of our local economy. Our electric department had a busy year completing numerous service upgrades for residential and commercial customers. They also set 40 poles for new lighting at the racetrack at the fairgrounds. Also at the fairgrounds, they assisted with underground electric upgrades to eliminate poles throughout the fairgrounds. And they started the project to feed power to the new ag building. In 2025, Greg Kuhlman and his team, they plan to install a EV charger, or charging station at Pilot, purchase a new bucket truck, and upgrade the AMI meter system, and continue to do the necessary preventative maintenance to keep the reliability that the city of Napoleon is used to. Our operations department. Our operations department has been working hard to keep our city clean and running smooth. They completed 2 major cleanups. There's the spring and fall cleanups, which they picked up more than 400 ton of material that they took to the landfill and maintained our city's infrastructure. Looking ahead, they focused on replacing aging equipment, completing the spring and fall hydrant flushing, and continuing to ensure our water systems are top notch. A couple of the accomplishments that they had in 2024 was a sewer push camera that they received in January. They also purchased a trailer that was needed, a service truck and dump truck from 2023. Finally, they were able to receive that. They received 700 tons of salt in 2024 and ordered another 100 ton this year. Spring cleanup for 2025 will be, one second here, that would be April 7th through the 11th. Fall cleanup will be October 6th through the 10th. Spring hydrant flushing will be April 14th through May 2nd. And fall hydrant flushing will be October 13th through the 24th. Moving on to our Human Resource Department, led by Brittany Ruth. 2024 City of Napoleon HR updates begin with some leadership changes. The city of Napoleon began 2024 with 2 key vacancies, chief and assistant chief of police. The HR department led a thorough selection process, and we are happy to have Chief Legg and Chief Roofer. Speaking of the police department, they have recently received their 4-year recertification for the Ohio Collaborative Board on Police and Community Relations. The department has been maintaining this certificate since 2016. Chief Legg continues to enhance training programs to incorporate in-person, online, and virtual components to help improve performance and cut costs. Thank you, Chief. The HR department recognized numerous employees who celebrated anywhere from 5 to 30 years of service. So it doesn't surprise me that we had over 90% employee retention rate. That's an amazing number for any municipality or any business, to have over 90% of their people want to stay at their job. So congratulations to Brittany and all of us here at the city. Strategies and initiatives for the HR department, community engagement, active recruitment through career fairs, schools, and education programs. Also, our HR department did secure some grants in 2024. Nearly $45,000 for the fire and EMS, with another $14,000 coming in 2025. Leadership roles, Brittany has been invited to join the Black Swamp Safety Council Steering Committee, and she serves as an ambassador for the OHPELRA. What is that, Brittany?
Yeah, Ohio Public Labor Relations Association.
Thank you. Upcoming priorities, citywide safety committee launch, 2025 collective bargaining preparation, and enhancing benefit enrollment systems. The HR team continues to drive initiatives that strengthen city operations and employee success. And moving on to the law department. That's another big department there with Billy and Tammy. 2024 was a year of legal wins. In 2024, Billy and Tammy focused on keeping the city running smoothly and legally sound. By providing proactive legal counsel, they helped city departments navigate new state and federal regulations while avoiding potential litigation. Their collaboration with code enforcement efforts led to the increased compliance and a better quality of life for our residents. Plus, they ensured that the city officials stayed informed by offering key legal updates and best practices, empowering them to serve the community effectively and ethically. Looking ahead, the law department have set their sights on even greater efficiency by streamlining internal processes to reduce case handling time and improve workflow. They'll continue to provide proactive legal counsel, helping city departments stay compliant and avoid legal pitfalls. Additionally, they'll work closely with council and the mayor to uphold public peace, health, and safety, ensuring our residents can thrive. Here's to another year of progress, protection, and proactive legal support. Thank you, Billy. And as we move into 2025, it's clear that our city is on a strong trajectory. We've made great strides in all areas, from infrastructure improvements to public safety and recreation. But there's still more to do, and with the dedication of our department heads, our staff, and community members, I know we will continue to grow and thrive. I'm incredibly proud of the work that we've accomplished together this year, and I am excited for all of the opportunities that lie ahead. Thank you all once again for your hard work, your support, and making Napoleon such a great place to call home. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item E, the approval of minutes. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the minutes shall stand approved from January 20th, 2025 regular council meeting. Hearing none, they'll stand approved. Item F is citizen communication. If there's anyone in attendance that would like to address the council, now would be the time to do so. Item G, reports from council committees. Item G1, the Finance and Budget Committee did not meet on January 27th, 2025 due to lack of agenda items. G2, the Safety and Human Resource Committee did not meet on January 27th, 2025 due to lack of agenda items. And G3, the Technology and Communications Committee did not meet earlier tonight due to lack of agenda items. Item I, introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. I-1 is resolution number 004-25, the final participatory resolution regarding State Route 108 in cooperation with the Ohio Department of Transportation. Do we have a motion?
Motion?
Second?
Thank you. Andy?
Thank you, Council President. This resolution allows ODOT, they require this to work within the city limits, and it also states that we will pay our our share of the cost of the project within the city limits. And that is minus any federal aid which we may get. Back during the budget meetings that we had in November, we stated that we budgeted $545,000 for this project. And just a few weeks ago, ODOT came back to Chad and said that they had received some federal aid funds for the project, and it reduced our share to $76,086. So a significant savings by getting those federal aid funds. Finally, this resolution just basically authorizes the city manager to enter into a contract with ODOT for the project. And once again, there is a suspension requested on this. I got an email from ODOT this afternoon asking when this would be approved by council and when they would have their checks. So I would appreciate a suspension on this one.
Okay. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments?
If I could just add, Andy mentioned about the check. The check would be approved in tonight's council meeting and be sent out to them by the end of this week. So it'll all be wrapped up in one if we could pass this tonight.
Thank you, Kevin. With that said, is there a motion for suspension?
Motion?
Second?
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Okay. And please call the roll on the resolution.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Okay, that will pass on to first read under suspension. Item J is second reading of ordinances and resolutions. There are none this evening. Item K, third reading of ordinances and resolutions. There are also none. Item L, good of the city. L1 is discussion or action. Direct the law director to draft legislation in regard to the golf course corporate membership fee proposal. Andy, you want that one?
I will take it, but I will defer to Parks and Rec Director Tony Cotter.
Sounds good.
Thank you. During the 2025 budget process, the Parks and Recreation Board unanimously recommended that we adjust the corporate membership rates at the golf course. Those have not been adjusted since they were implemented back in 2012. Excuse me, 2022. Essentially, there are 5 tiers of rates, as you can see on the memo that I included in the packet. Those rates are determined based on number of employees for the company. Not how many golfers you have, but how many employees or full-time employees per company. So they're asking for essentially a $200 across the board increase on those rates. Last year, we had a total of 18 companies that took advantage of that, most of which fall into the 25 and under range. But we did have 5 companies that employs 26 to 50, one for 50 and 100, and another for 100 to 200 employees. So he's asking for that adjustment, please.
Thank you, Tony. Any questions from council? Do we have a motion to direct the law director?
I'll motion.
Second.
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Dr. Dave.
Yes.
Thank you again, Tony. Okay, we'll go around the table. Kevin, you this evening?
I have nothing, thank you.
Tom? Dr. Dave?
It's a good address to the city from our mayor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Brittany?
I will ditto Dr. Green.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Two things. The Scott Street project that we just talked about. Can you kind of give us a time frame or like when it would take place, if you know that? And the other question would be, how long of a process will that be?
I will punt on both of those questions.
Okay.
It's really completely up to ODOT. I have not heard when they might be starting, nor how long it will take.
Okay.
I do know that we will do our best to try and maintain traffic during this and/or try to complete the construction at night.
So we're not talking like weeks or anything like that?
Well, I
or-
don't think so. It's
No.
it's simply paving. So
Okay.
it's basically grinding and resurfacing.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other question is, just kind of want to talk about the pickleball courts. I've had quite a few people bring up they're unhappy about losing the skate park. I'm sure, Tony, you've probably heard some things on that. Have we considered if there's another place for pickleball, or are we just moving forward with where we're keeping it at Swearingen Park?
It would be my recommendation to move forward with our initial plans.
Okay.
We have, correct me if I'm wrong, about $18,000 in donations
Yes.
for pickleball courts. And to start from scratch, we're talking anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000 additional over and above what we had planned on spending this year. I think what we will continue to do, at least my recommendation would be to continue to consider other areas for the skate park. Right now, I don't necessarily have any place in mind, but I was just thinking of another place earlier that I'll run by Tony, but that would be my recommendation, at least for the time being. They're gonna discuss it again at the next Parks and Rec Board meeting. We discussed this afternoon that maybe it might be wise to have that meeting in conjunction with or in coordination with the Parks and Rec Committee of Council. But I believe that will be or I know that's on the agenda for the next Parks and Rec Board meeting.
That's my understanding. One of the reasons for the skate park site is because the lack of use compared to maybe years ago.
That's
at the
correct.
skate. Okay.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, we just recognized that there weren't very many people using it.
Right.
And that was donated by the Police Patrolmen's Association.
Mm-hmm.
And I got their blessing. That was the first thing we did, is approach them and ask them if it was okay if we removed that from there. And they said absolutely. That was not a problem. And so what they discussed the other night was dismantling it and storing it until we could find a better location for it, or another location for it, I should say.
Okay. A thought I had the other day, and I'll talk to Chief Legg about this some other time. Your department has been doing a phenomenal job getting kids involved with either kickball or cops and bobbers and different things like that. And maybe we can come up with something with like a pickleball thing to get them involved, because I know of some very young kids that play and they love the game. And I think most of us just picture that's for senior citizens, and I don't believe it is.
No.
So I'd like to see if we can come up with some way to invite the kids around that area to come over and try out pickleball sometime.
I don't know if you wanted to add anything, or tell me I'm wrong in what I said, or go right ahead. Make mine.
This the whole pickleball initiative did start, actually, back in about 2018. We had a group that was very interested in it. As many of you know, pickleball has become a very, very popular activity, not just for senior citizens, for all ages. And we recognized that the amount of usage that we saw at the skateboard park was beginning to diminish. And many communities repurpose tennis courts that also don't get a lot of use, and have transformed them into pickleball courts. So because Swearingen Park initially was a tennis court, we had 2 tennis courts there, it was repurposed to skating, and now the thought was to repurpose that for pickleball and then potentially move the skate park equipment if we had a location elsewhere. Obviously, within the last week or so, there's been some discussion amongst the community that is either not in favor of moving at all or concerned that it doesn't get relocated. So I know personally, I hate to take away a facility that we have, take away equipment that we have that we'd like to use. So I would certainly love to be able to relocate that equipment someplace. We just, at this point, don't have location nailed down. There's been discussion about potential of moving it to Oakwood Park and replacing our basketball court there, but that decision did not get made at the board meeting last week. But we'll decide to give it some thought, and then with the amount of feedback we're getting from the community, gives them an opportunity to come to the meeting at the end of the month. It's scheduled, and we have further discussion.
Thank you, appreciate it. That's all I have.
Has anything, I remember a little while back, there was mentioning of bocce ball, and somebody talked about bocce ball tournaments or something, trying to get something going. Has anything been decided on that?
Actually, we've made some strides in getting at least areas identified for bocce ball. Relatively temporary now, but when we proposed the pickleball courts, it was actually came in 2 phases. The first phase would be the pickleball courts, and then because the area at Swearingen is large enough that we can put 3 courts in and then have space for other activities. The second phase of what at least I proposed would have 2 bocce ball courts, and then space for other activities.
Sounds like a great plan. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Mayor?
No.
Ken?
Kudos to the mayor on his fine speech.
Thank you, sir.
I have nothing else.
Bobby?
Would you like me to ask for that agenda item, or are you going to take care of it?
I was going to ask for it, because I've got a few.
I have
other things
nothing
to say
until
about
you say so.
That's good. Jordan?
Nothing.
Billy?
Nothing right now. Well done, Mr. Mayor.
Andy?
A couple of items. As you know, over the past couple of years, I've made an effort to review rates, fees across most departments. And the Parks and Rec or the cemeteries are I guess, my next target. It came up a couple of weeks ago. Tony had made some revisions to the form that was required for indigent burials, and that caused me to look into more in terms of the cemeteries, and those rates and fees and charges have not been adjusted since 2002. So Tony and I have been working together to look at modifying those rates, and I would like that to go to the Municipal Properties Committee for review. So I guess I would ask for that recommendation.
Mr. Chair, would that be okay if we get this?
It's going to be just fine.
Thanks, Chief.
Sure.
Another item, I attended a conference a couple of years ago, and I came across one of the seminars was given by the Rural Community Assistance Partnership, or RCAP. They serve communities They help communities that serve populations of less than 10,000 residents. Napoleon qualifies. So one of the items they offer is water rate studies and sewer rate studies. So I started investigating with them this year to conduct a water rate study for the city, and as well as a sewer rate study. And they said that the sewer rate study does not cost anything. The EPA covers the cost for that through RCAP. The water rate study, I received a quote from them for $11,583. I budgeted $15,000 in both the water and the sewer this year for this study, because in 2020 we paid $10,000 for each of the water and sewer studies. So unless there is an objection, I plan to enter into a contract with RCAP to conduct water and sewer rate studies for the city this year. Something that when I presented my findings last year on my own investigation and study, I told them that this year I would either come back with another recommendation on my own or find a third party to do the study. I think, and after talking with Jeff Weiss at the water treatment plant, he said the EPA likes to see an outside study done every 5 years. So this will be the 5th year, and so with no objection, I would like to move forward with a rate study through RCAP.
Any legislation needed for that?
I think that's all I had. I know, Mayor, you mentioned during your speech a couple of items that piqued my interest. You mentioned the Palmer Ditch redo, the Palmer Ditch pump station, and we had just completed that, or we're completing that when we were in our negotiations with Campbell Soup, and it's really an integral part of that whole thing. When we planned for it and moved into working on it, we had no idea that we were going to really need it for Campbell's. So the timing there was just perfect. The Oakwood improvements, I know I've received a number of residents saying, why didn't you fix the railroad? Well, we don't fix railroads. Unfortunately, we have no jurisdiction within that 100-foot distance, or 75 feet, whatever it is. But they did receive a grant, and they do plan on doing that in '25. So hopefully that railroad crossing on Oakwood will be done as well. And then the final thing, you mentioned the law department. I just want to mention their promptness in getting legislation completed. I know you hear, we sit and we ask for legislation to be crafted. Well, by Tuesday morning, I have it on my desk to review already. So they work incredibly fast and do a great job. So other than that, nice job, Mayor.
Thank you.
And that's all I had.
Thank you, Andy. Again, great job, Mr. Mayor. Giving a 20-plus minute speech is not easy, so
Thank you.
kudos to you. In other news, I would ask for an executive session for 2 topics. The first, to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official. If we could have a motion on that one, please.
Motion?
Second.
Thank you. Michaela, go ahead and call the roll for that one, please.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Thank you. And the second, to discuss pending or imminent court action, please. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Okay. For the first one, we'll have everybody, including Brittany, please. Okay, can I have a motion to come out of executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public official, please?
So move.
Second?
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yeah.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Okay, no action taken there. Can I also have another motion to come out of executive session to discuss pending or imminent court action?
So move.
Second?
Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
No action taken there.
I would like, as recommended by the ad hoc committee, to motion to provide an additional performance-based increase of 3% for Billy on the 2024 performance, and to be retroactive to January 1st, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second?
Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes?
Jordan,
No.
Tom,
Yes.
Dr. Dave,
No.
What date did you say? Just want to make sure.
I'm sorry.
What date did you say is retroactive to?
January 1st, 2025.
Have I heard
You said 20.
I did.
So,
You need to amend that, or?
You can probably just correct the language and vote again. I would suggest that, just for clarity's sake.
As recommended by the ad hoc committee, I would like to motion to provide an additional performance-based increase of 3% for Billy, based on the 2024 performance, to be retroactive to January 1st, 2025.
Second motion.
Michaela, please call the roll on that correction, please.
Brittany,
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes?
Jordan,
No.
Tom,
Yes.
Dr. Dave,
no.
Thank you. As recommended by the ad hoc committee, I'd also like to make a motion to provide additional performance-based increase of 3% for Andy, based on 2024 performance, to be retroactive to January 1st, 2020.
Second motion.
Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes?
Jordan,
No.
Tom,
Yes.
Dr. Dave,
No.
All right. I would also like to request a motion to direct the law director to draft the necessary legislation to procure assistant law director by agreement. Is there a motion?
So moved. Oh, second?
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes?
Jordan,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Dr. Dave,
Yes.
Okay. And finally, I have received a letter this evening from our city manager that I would like to share. It states, "Dear Council President Durham, I want to begin by expressing how much I enjoy my position as city manager and how appreciative I am to the current and former mayor and city council for allowing me the opportunity to serve my beloved hometown in this capacity. The past 2 years have been a whirlwind of opportunity, excitement, frustration, and accomplishment, often all in the same day. The support from the mayor and city council and the professionalism, skill, and dedication of city staff are key to successfully handling the daily challenges of the position. While I still greatly enjoy coming to work every morning, my heart is telling me it is time to step away and begin my retirement years. The decision to leave a job I love was not an easy one and was not made without a lot of thought and prayer. I know there's much more that I would like to have accomplished as city manager, but I also know there are things outside of my work life that I want to accomplish while I still have the health and ability to do so. With that said, I have made the difficult decision to resign from my position as Napoleon City Manager, effective at the end of the day, Friday, May 2nd, 2025. I cannot say enough about the professionalism and knowledge of the leadership in each department of the city. On my first day, I told them I would rather have a championship team than a team of champions. I believe I was blessed with both. Each of them manages their department with the good of the community in mind. However, each department is only as good as the employees tasked with making the city run effectively on a daily basis, and I greatly appreciate the often difficult and sometimes dangerous work they do for the residents and business community of Napoleon. While I leave the position with unfulfilled dreams, plans, and aspirations, during my abbreviated time in the position, I did my best to lead with honesty and integrity, and I hope I have made a positive difference in the community I love. Over the next few months, I will work to ensure a smooth transition, and am confident that the next city manager will continue to move Napoleon forward. Respectfully, Andrew Small. Andy, it has been an absolute pleasure to work with you. And with that said, I would ask for a motion to accept this terrible retirement designation, Mark.
Council President, just for clarification, if we vote no, he can't stay.
Is there a motion?
As much as this pains me to do it, I will motion.
Second.
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Dr. Dave.
A reluctant yes.
Andy, thank you for the 2.5 years, and we are going to cherish every day we have until May 2nd. And
I appreciate it.
look forward to your assistance in finding a successor who can try their best to fill your shoes. All right, I think that is all I have. We will move to item N, approve payment of bills. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the payment of bills shall stand approved. Any questions?
Before you go on, was there supposed to be 2 motions for Bill? Just want to make sure.
No, it's just one motion, and there will be 2 pieces of legislation coming.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe more, but I think at least 2.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
All right, I'm hearing none on the objections or corrections on the bills. Those will stand approved. Is there a motion for adjournment?
No motion.
Second.
Michaela, please call the roll.
Brittany,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Dr. Dave.
Yes.
We are adjourned.